Are you ready?
You can trust me all the way. Yes, I'm ready.
Wow. I have trust issues, though. We should have talked about this right off the bat. John Peckman Podcast, Connecticut Valley School of Music and Dance, beautiful downtown Portland, Connecticut. Come over the bridge, go through one satellite's pull a Yui. Although it never occurred to me, maybe some people live here in town and they don't have to come over the bridge. Wow.
Yeah, but they have to go back over it if they want to leave town.
That's true. But who wants to leave? It's such a lovely town. I'd never leave if I lived here.
Never?
Maybe sometimes.
Okay. That's a long time.
You can have your own podcast here in our studio. Dave will tell you how. You could be on the show with me, like my guest is right now. You could tell your friends and family about the show. You could buy merch. Have you seen our we have merch that we're flogging. We have hats and shirts and mugs, and they're all good.
Did you say merch?
Merch. Yeah, it's something the kids say.
Oh, because I thought you were talking about I Love Lucy, Ethel merch.
Oh.
Okay.
No, it's something people...
My bad.
Merch. It's
I get your merch.
Come on, man.
You know.
Anyway, our guest, Glen Carta, here in a pinch today.
There you go.
I appreciate it.
Oh, no problem.
Yeah, no offense. You were on the list. Dave was going to put you on the list. You were on the list anyway.
Yeah.
But today's the day. Short notice.
Very good.
I appreciate it.
Sometimes it's even better short notice.
You know what? Man, these are often my favorite shows. This is what I call a voyage of discovery because I never met you. I met you minutes ago. I don't know anything at all. You could make stuff up.
That makes two of us.
Yeah, right. You could make stuff up if you want. But Dave tells me that you are, I guess, a local rock and roller. You want does that get us in the in the zone?
Okay. Yeah, it definitely gets us in the zone.
Okay. What do you play? You want to do 20? We'll do like 20 questions.
Okay. Well, I started with guitar.
Okay.
And I still play guitar, but along the way, I just loved playing instruments, and I would grab them in my spare time and mess with them. So I actually play drums,
nice.
Guitar, bass. I use some keyboards for, I can't play Rachmaninoff, but I use it as flavorings, seasonings. Right. And I've always been a lead vocalist in bands.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. My dad, rest his soul, was a great singer.
Oh, wow.
And so I do that, and I write my own material.
Okay.
And I've been in countless cover bands, and I've known Eddie Misenti.
Okay.
Since I was probably, 11?
Really? Okay.
Yes.
So you grew up here, and
like I said, Rockfall is a little sublet of Middlefield.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
And Eddie was just go up Cherry Hill Road to the top, take a left, and there was Eddie.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And a lot of other people too.
Oh yeah. Do you want to tell us some the celebrities of Rockfall?
Well, celebrities of Rockfall, Middlefield. In the early days, we had in Rockfall we had Wally Traskis on guitar, who was just a monster.
Yeah,
I thought he played Eric Clapton better than Eric Clapton did.
There you go.
We had Danny Clark, who lived on Elvira Drive in Middlefield, who started out being a drummer, fabulous drummer, and then turned to a guitar, especially slide guitar.
Okay.
And he's a monster.
Uh-huh.
And then you've got, Ed Misenti on guitar. We from Durham, there was Gordy Folsom on drums and vocals.
I know Gordy.
You know Gordy?
I do.
There you go.
Yeah.
I've known him just about as long as everybody else. Yeah, we go long ways.
Wow.
And let's see. I'll throw a couple more at you. Gordy Folsom. In Durham, Peter Fell was a bass player.
I know that name.
Peter Fell?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I always hoped that he never got hurt when he did. But
oh, boy.
Yeah, so now I'm having a little bit of a brain fart, so...
That's fine.
There's a few.
That's fine. So how did it all... So what are you doing now? Are you doing anything now that you want to talk about, promote? I usually, do that and then kind of work backwards to the whole life story or whatever.
Okay. Right now, I have been in hiatus for at least a good 6 years.
Wow.
Going through some personal stuff.
Okay.
Life.
Yep.
And everything that goes with it.
Yeah, yeah.
And it took me off of the track for a while, and I just didn't have it in me to actually pick up and perform. I had too many other things going on that I had to straighten out.
Yeah.
Excuse me. And now I'm slowly back on track.
Yeah.
Building up from the bottom again.
Okay.
And once I get to when I'm situated and my head's nice and clear again, and I'm firing on all 4 cylinders, I intend to get back out there and resume.
Hey, that's cool.
Yeah.
So this is the Renaissance period.
The Renaissance period. I like that.
Pre-Renaissance.
Yeah.
Or something.
When I leave, I'm going to get up as Van Gogh. You know that, right?
Boom. I actually have a... Wait, hold on.
I think you need the gong, dude.
Yeah, we might need to... I might need to...
Where's Chuck Barris when you need him?
Oh, man. Yeah, right.
You know his middle initial was M. Chuck Embarrassed.
Really? All right, hold on. Let me
Just kidding, you know.
No, hold on. Let me...
That's all right. Yeah.
Say that again. I'm ready.
That again?
Hey!
Wow, that was pretty weak, dude.
I know.
The guy's got to change from Q-tips to drumsticks.
Yeah, I think so. Well, I can make it louder.
That's okay.
Yeah. All right.
Well, there
I'll
we
keep
go.
that on tap. I get the feeling this is going to be funny.
Okay.
So, hey, Rockfall.
How can you not love that name, though?
Crickets. Out in Rockfall.
You know it.
The Rockfall.
Growing
Crickets.
up in the summer,
Yeah.
sitting watching TV late at night, that's what you heard, really.
Well, crickets.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's cool. What were you doing before you went on hiatus? You tearing it up around here, doing something.
You know, well, I've been doing it, keeping my chops up and stuff like that. I've been recording I'm always recording.
Oh, okay.
You know, I have a 16-track,
Nice.
and I lay down the instruments one at a time.
Wow.
And put it all together, and I've just tons and tons of stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
And then it was funny during when COVID hit. There was a friend of mine that I met at Cypress open mics.
Back in the day.
And she plays keyboards and wrote her own stuff. And she called me right on the cusp of when, out of the blue, when COVID was ready to hit.
Yep.
And she says, "Hey, you still got your studio? I got tons of stuff I'd like to record. I'll throw you some money, and maybe we could do something." I'm going, "Well, you better do it quick because I'm not going to be answering the door to people."
Yeah, right.
In the midst of 2 years, we laid down a whole bunch of stuff. So it's fun. You know, I like working with people, and I like doing my own stuff, and I just love entertaining, playing, and rocking, and
Cool.
having a good time.
So you had kind of running your own studio, kind of.
Kind of.
Doing it studio business-ish.
Yeah.
Like if people are like, hey, you know, like you say, this woman, like I want to record something.
Certainly, it's not like going to the coffee house with Michael Arafat, you know, having the real deal. But I come up with some fairly decent sounding stuff that you can at least take home and play it for somebody. And
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And how did that all start? I would imagine playing music first, and then you slowly. I mean, I've been down that route myself.
Right. You're a musician.
Yeah.
Drummer?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I had another friend. This is back 25 years ago that we used to get together with all the time. His name was Adam Myers, crazy man. Played drums. He played little bits of the other instruments too, but we started recording. He had a 4-track cassette, just an old junk.
Oh, yeah.
And you could do sound on sound, so we started with that.
Then
we sold it. We said, this is fun, and we got a better one.
Mm-hmm.
And then we left the cassette tape syndrome and went to the digital and picked up the 16-track. And, I mean, again, I have so many things recorded with him that cover a span of at least 15 years.
Yeah.
15 years.
So that's how it started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just loved everything about music. I love recording.
Yeah.
I love doing it. I love recording people. Listening.
It's cool.
You know, eating hot dogs once in a while is good.
Oh yeah, I guess so.
You know.
Yeah. I've had hot dogs before.
Gaitas?
They're cool.
Have you had Gaitas?
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's.
You got to be the aficionado for
Yeah.
Gaitas.
Yeah, that's for real.
Even though they're $100 a piece now.
Are they?
No, they're $98 a piece.
Oh, I haven't been there in a while.
Yeah, you don't want to go.
No?
Unless you got $98 for a hot dog.
Well, maybe I do.
Okay, then you can treat me for lunch, bro.
Exactly.
Woo!
Yeah. What was the last band you were playing in? What was the deal?
Okay, you had to throw this one out, right?
Oh, I'm just,
No. I just, so many bands and so many band names. The last band that I was actually in.
Yeah, that you were making noise before your hiatus, I guess, is what I'm saying. I get
really,
how would people know you? Like, how would they know you around these parts?
Around these parts, well, they'd know me from playing. I've done a bunch of gigs with Portland's own Tony Rome.
Oh, okay.
Back in playing in his band.
Okay. And playing what? Drums?
No, actually, I did play drums in a couple gigs. Then he did a couple gigs this past summer, and I played guitar.
Oh, wow.
And let me see. Yeah, I couldn't tell you a sub band. I was just, filling in with people, doing their shtick.
Sure.
But eventually I would, like I said, once I can get it back together again without being too long, I'd like to get something going that I have visions and ideas of.
Sure.
See if anybody wants to jump on the train and take a visual and sonic ride.
Yeah, right. Why not? So tell me about growing up in Rockfall. What instrument did you start on? How did it all start?
Guitar. I mean, I'm sure every musician that was born in '55, especially, like I was, it was the Ed Sullivan Show with the Beatles that just changed my life.
That's what they say.
Just did it.
Yeah.
I remember what I was like when I sat down before Ed Sullivan introduced him.
Wow.
And then he introduced them. Me and my two sisters sat in front of the TV, and when they were done, I walked away from the television a changed person.
Wow. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Really? Yeah.
And, I'm a huge Beatles freak.
Yeah, I am too. Yeah, we'll get into it.
All right.
Yeah.
But so what happened was, of course, I wanted a guitar.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what happened was my Aunt Mary and Uncle Henry, God rest their souls, are beautiful people. For some reason, Uncle Henry decided he's going to get me a drum kit.
Oh.
And I didn't ask for one because they knew that I liked guitar, but it was this really old tin.
Yeah.
They just didn't cut it, So then the next year, my mother bought me a Beatles, I think Amato's had it, a Beatles plaques, the Beatles guitars.
Okay.
It had their pictures on it and the autographs, a plastic guitar.
And of course, it was a real autograph, actually, from them personally. I'm joking. Can
I was going to say, where's that guitar?
Autograph. Yeah, exactly.
What happened?
Yeah.
And from there, I just,
Sure.
another guitar. Then you'd go to two guys. My father says, well, it looks like you're sticking to this. So come on, we'll get you a guitar. And I can remember, God bless him, he would buy me a guitar. And, of course, the strings are this high off the neck.
Yeah, right, sure.
You used to have to do push-ups to make a chord on the neck.
But is that good for you, though? I don't know. I don't play guitar.
I think it strengthens
Right, that's what I'm thinking.
your hand abilities, and really, because now it's so easy. Everything's like butter. It's like, hey.
I wonder if it was a plan. Do you think that was the plan all along? Think about it.
I don't know.
You know what I mean?
I do.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I never thought about that. And then when you get on, I guess, whatever, a real guitar or a guitar that you can lower the action, like, and now you're tearing it up.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And, of course, you graduate to better guitars, and then you notice the action is better. Oh, boy, look at this neck. And look at this sound.
Sure.
So it's just,
wow.
Instruments, I love them.
Yeah. Was it John or George that you noticed on guitar? You know what I mean? Because people are either, a John or a George.
That's a tough question.
I'm just curious. I wasn't.
Yeah. I was immediately attracted to John.
Okay.
His stance,
the
legs spread, and that Rickenbacker in his neck out a little bit.
Yeah.
So he was riveting to watch. And, and then, of course, the lead break would come, and they'd shift over to George, and I swear to you, I don't think anybody has guitar fingers like George Harrison. Did you ever notice his fingers?
Not particularly.
You have to look.
Really?
This guy will do a hand stretch of a chord that's literally 3/4 of the whole neck.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Effortlessly yawning with the other
So
hand.
there's a reason why he's that guy.
Those chords.
Okay.
I mean, of course, his leads were great.
I see.
So it was, and then you just had to, they were all your favorites. It's just, what day do I really want to get into this one?
Yeah.
Today it's John. Tomorrow it'll be George. The next day Paul. Even Ringo. Everybody.
Yeah. Sure. Sure. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was born in '67, but I remember
the year of Pepper.
The year of Pepper. Yep. And my parents had Beatle records around the house, and I used to want to hear. I used to tell my mom to put on Smack It. Used to call Birthday the drum break. I noticed the drum break in Birthday, and I would smack it. And I would, that was my thing.
Cool.
So Beatles was the first thing I noticed too.
Really?
Yeah, sure. I think so. Seems to be. That's what they say.
I have yet to see, a lot of people like, what's all the hubbub, really? And it's like, you know what the hubbub is? It's just great. What they did is just great music.
There's a lot of
and
levels.
the voices, I mean, how they looked, how they acted, their sense of humor, everything. They had it. They had everything.
Yeah.
And it was all effortless.
Yeah. Yeah.
Literally.
Right? Yeah.
We were blessed to have them.
Yeah.
No, quite. And look at now. I mean, you got the Stones in the charts, and you've got, I guess, this Now and Then.
Yeah. What'd you think about that?
I love it.
Yeah.
How could anybody not love just hearing something new by the Beatles?
Yeah. Did you? I don't. They kind of. Well, I don't know how much of this you're into, but they meaning Giles Martin, they remixed.
Yep.
Have you heard the remixes? So the Red album, and it's like, I think it's really cool. And I was hearing something the other day that got by me. I was like, are you serious? That they actually reamped some of the stuff, like took the original track and ran it through a guitar amp in Studio 2.
Where'd you read this?
So some Giles interview, and he was saying, there were some things that we actually reamped, and he goes, it was wild because you're hearing the Beatles play
right
through the. I don't know if people out there understand. Let me see how to explain it. You take the individual track. So John Lennon, say his guitar track, you take the audio from that track and send it out into the studio through a guitar amp. So it's basically like he's playing it back then, but through an amp now because they want a cleaner signal. They want to be able to record it.
Right.
I'm not telling you. I'm telling the audience, the people listening.
Hello, audience.
Yeah, hello.
How are you? Nice to see you.
But imagine that. So, and then they're in the original studio that the Beatles used because they want to recreate the sound, but better. So they have the guitar amp, a specific, period guitar amp that John Lennon would have used, and the microphone they would have recorded it with in the room that they recorded the appropriate distance away. So it's basically a re-recording, but they don't change what he played at all.
Right.
And they reamped like some of, I don't know how much of it, but they said that they did do that for something. I mean, that's insane. Like where we're at now with that's possible.
It's really insane.
It's crazy. And it sounds really good. I think it sounds cool.
I think it sounds real good. And one of the finally, we can hear Ringo's early recordings with the Beatles where he was always buried.
Right. That's what I thought.
And they definitely pronounced him, even his kick drum.
Yep.
And like you're hearing like, "Please Please Me" or "Love Me Do" or these songs.
Yep.
And it's like,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I
excuse us.
Yeah. Exactly. That was well. All right. So
anyway.
Yeah. Well, like you say, the people go, "What's the hubbub?" I don't know. Maybe you have to be a musician to know, because like you say, we listened to the Beatles recordings for years that weren't really mixed. They were okay, but you had to use your imagination a lot as to how they were actually playing. But with the new remixes, like you say, that now they're just putting them like, this is how loud Ringo, like you can actually hear what they played like together at the appropriate volumes. You're like, sounds like you're kind of there while they're playing, and you hear how Ringo's working it. And as if he wasn't my number one. When people ask me who's your number one, I go Ringo.
For real?
Because that's how you know who you're talking to. If they go, "Oh, cool," if they go, "Really?" then I just go, I don't want to have this conversation.
Really?
Well, some people are not Neil Peart. I'm like, look, this is a long conversation that we can't have.
Nothing against Neil Peart.
No,
but I don't think what could Neil Peart do with "Love Me Do"? What are you gonna do?
Right, and I just, for me, whatever. It's not about me, but Ringo that's where I start. And then when you hear how that band worked together and how he was actually driving them instead of under mix like we're used to hearing it, but when you hear it, you're just like, Yeah, these guys are they're a great band. Still.
Yes, indeed.
Anyway.
Absolutely.
Not telling you anything you don't know. I'm just saying this for the people out
I'm,
there.
I'm enjoying. I could talk Beatles all weekend.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. So there you were. You got a better guitar now.
Yeah.
What was it?
My first real good guitar was a Guild hollow body, one of those big fat ones.
Sure.
It was round with and then with the horn, just had a volume and a tone, and one plastic pickup. But the neck and the action and the sound. Well, what my dad did was, I had a friend at the time, so he got me that guitar. My dad bought me a lot of stuff. I was very blessed.
Hey, that's cool.
You know, and it's like
my dad gave me a knuckle sandwich. That's what I got. No, actually, not
Dude,
true at all.
Come on.
Not true at all.
Actually,
my dad got me a lot. It's the same kind of scenario.
And what was funny was, he would give me these lectures about. I don't mean to stray from what you asked me, but
whatever.
My dad was so funny because he would go like, "Glenn, don't you know that?" It was like I'm Mimi. Okay, to John.
Yeah,
you
never.
Like, you and that guitar. That's all you do is guitar. You don't even do your homework. What do you think? You think you're going to be the Beatles? I said, I'm going to be bigger than the Beatles.
Hey, of course. Yeah.
Anyway, you got to start buckling down.
Sure.
Okay.
Did you ever buckle down?
No.
Okay.
And then of course we get company. My uncle, his brother would come over with the company.
Now.
Now it's like I'm in hey Glenn,
listen to my Glen. How good
grab
he
your
is.
guitar, come down here. Go ahead, play for them. And I'd play, and he'd go, huh?
I would. You know what I would have said? Sorry, I'm buckling down. I can't play anymore. Sorry.
If I buckle down anymore, my pants are gonna fall.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I know.
But
that's the way.
So it was just great.
Yeah.
I said, you'll see.
Yeah.
And he did tell me he was proud of me. I at one point, one of my biggest things was I had a band called Spread Eagle.
Okay.
And this is in '85.
Okay.
And I
graduated high school in '85.
Did you?
For the record, I did.
Okay. I think I was there at your graduation.
Were you?
No.
Okay.
But long story short, I was really heavily into writing my songs now. I was on a roll.
Yeah.
My first actual bunch of songs.
Yeah.
I loved lyrics.
We'll talk about that. Yeah.
So I wrote about 12, and then I said, I'm going to get some people. I got some money. I'd love to just record like a demo album or something. And we had a friend of ours, Cliff Oliveira, and Bobby Russo, who had a studio in their basement behind Bradley's in Middletown.
Okay.
But then they moved into Moodus and had a really state-of-the-art, and they would record some people, had their own label and stuff.
Nice.
So we worked out a deal that we could afford. The three of us went in on what it would cost, and it was me, Jack Hammer Russo played drums, Dan Slim Staples played the bass, I played guitar and sang, and I designed, had a picture in my mind of the cover.
Sure.
It was called Open Wide, Wide Open,
Okay.
Repeatedly said the words together. So I had a guy actually draw a mouth that was open wide.
Sure.
But as the mouth was open, like the tongue and the teeth were mountains.
Oh, wow.
So it was wide open also.
Yeah.
It was
Nice.
fairly clever.
Yeah.
Find myself.
Hey.
And so we did that and had a bunch of pressings put out. And so I was like, I got my vinyl.
Yeah, finally.
And but of course, you listen to it now. I would love to bring that in with the tools and just go over, because it's
right.
it was a bit of a what do you call it? They were new at what they were doing.
Sure.
We were new at what we were doing, so we took some chances that didn't always work.
Oh wow.
Simmons drums, don't ever use them.
Yeah.
We used them on 2 tracks to try.
1985.
Oh boy. But live and learn.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. No, I hear you. Hey, state of the art.
State of the art.
Yeah.
Yes.
It happens.
State of Arthur.
That's right.
Dudley Moore. More or less.
Right. Yeah. Trying to remember. I used to have some Arthur on tap, but it's been a while. I used to have a couple one-liners from that.
Yeah.
It's been a while. I don't have any right now. But there was a time in my life, yes. I know what you're talking about.
So let me ask you a question, if you don't mind.
Sure.
What was like one of your biggest first concerts that you went to that really blew your head?
Hey, have you watched my show before? Because that's one of my questions.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Okay.
Actually,
good.
I'm going to start watching now, though. I promise.
Yeah. That's one of the wrap-up questions I ask at the end. Like there's a rapid fire, and that's one of them. That's interesting.
Okay.
Wow.
It's got to be just one.
No, not really.
Right.
But wow, no one ever asked me that.
Well. So how does it feel to be in the other seat?
Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, the first real concert that I remember actually seeing that was like a real concert that my parents brought me to
can relate.
Was probably 1977, I would say, or 78. It was the Bee Gees at the New Haven Coliseum with the white suits, the whole, they were like the center of the universe. It was Saturday Night Fever time.
Oh, it was Saturday Night Fever time?
So it was that was the first big show. And, they had pyro and lasers, and it was a big deal. Right. It was a big...
Hey, don't knock the Bee Gees, anybody.
No. For that period, they were the center of the universe.
Right.
So that was wild. And then the first concert that I remember that I went to myself with no parental supervision was UFO opening for Cheap Trick, who are still my favorite rock and roll band, Cheap Trick.
Cheap Trick?
Yep. Yeah, they're my number 2.
That's a good choice.
And that stood out. We had, I was a huge Cheap Trick fan. I can hear like reverb in my head when I say this. The tickets that we had were 8th row on the floor.
Oh,
8th row on the floor. And it was like 8th grade in metal shop. We had to make a
metal shop.
Not
heavy metal shop.
No, just metal,
okay.
light metal.
Okay.
But we had to make like a tackle box or a toolbox or something. You had to think. And I put my ticket in the toolbox, and I would look at that ticket every day. You remember those days?
I do.
Every day. 8th row 8, FL, floor,
yep.
8th row. Could not believe it. So 8th row on the floor, and then for the encore, we rushed the stage.
Yep.
I was right up front, and Bunny Carlos came to the front of the stage and threw his sticks, and I caught a stick, and I still have it.
Excellent.
On me now. No, I'm just kidding.
You're kidding.
No. I do have it somewhere. That was the biggest day. I couldn't believe it. When I told people I was there, I was right up front. I caught the stick. Yeah,
that's pretty good.
It was
because
pretty
I
good.
would think that close. I mean, Rick Nielsen I've seen them also.
Sure.
But flipping his picks.
Yeah, I have a lot of picks over the years. But
now, I don't know about you, but I'm also a humongous UFO fan.
Oh, hey.
You?
Yeah. Not so much. I'm not an unfan. I just never followed them, but it was great.
It had to be.
It was like, oh, okay.
I'm trying to think. What was that, like the Lights Out period?
I'm not a.
I know. I'm
but,
just thinking out loud.
But it was great. Yeah. Michael Schenker. Yeah. No, I mean it made an impression for sure.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But those are the kind of the Bee Gees and then Cheap Trick, and then I saw the Police in '81.
I did too.
Ghost in the Machine tour. Did you really?
Yes. Yeah, I think it was probably the same one.
Could have been. Yeah, it was great.
Did the Go-Go's warm up for them?
Bow Wow Wow, open for them.
I could be wrong. And then I'm thinking of my T-shirt. I think I might have seen the Zenyatta Mandata tour.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
But still.
Yeah. My older sister took me. I saw Ghost in the Machine, Bow Wow Wow opened, and then I saw Synchronicity and REM open, and it was like, boo. Who are these bums?
REM?
Yeah.
I said, I know why they call them REM. They're putting me to sleep.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Anyway, those are my shows, I think. I mean, there's many more, but those are the early ones.
Yeah, those are great.
Mind-blowing. Yeah. How about you?
That's a tough one, again, because I got lots.
Yeah.
And so I got to narrow it down. When I hear something funny, don't forget I'm a lot older than you are.
Well.
You were talking about your parents brought you to that show.
Yeah.
Cheap Trick, right?
Bee Gees.
Bee Gees.
Yeah.
Well, see, I'm the youngest of 3 kids.
Okay.
It was me and 2 older sisters. We're all 3 years apart.
Okay.
And at the time, Chubby Checker was out. with the twist
Sure.
and everything.
Oh, yeah.
So I would, Anyway, he came to the Bushnell in Hartford, and my dad brought all of us because my
Nice.
older sister wanted to see him. And I can remember him coming out with a suit and doing the twist and everything, but he had on a pair of red patent leather shoes. They were incredible.
Oh, wow. You still remember the shoes.
Oh, man. I mean, you couldn't forget them. Candy apple red they were.
Wow.
So I went from Chuck Berry. I did see Elvis.
Wow. Hey, that's cool.
Yeah. I saw a great show, Rod Stewart and Faces with Badfinger warming them up
Wow.
at Dillon Stadium.
Sure. Yeah.
That was fabulous.
Yeah, I bet.
Hold on. What was mind blowing? Well, Alice Cooper, Billion Dollar Babies tour
That'll do it.
was really
The
good.
guillotine years or whatever.
Guillotine
Or
Years.
whatever.
Right?
Yeah.
Or the noose.
Yeah.
No news is good news.
Yeah, sure.
Especially if you're hanging around.
Oh, I lost it. I changed my thing.
He changed his thing, people.
No news is good news.
Right?
Hey.
Hey, look out!
Yeah.
But there's too many.
Yeah, there's too many.
Okay, there's too many.
How does Ed Misenti figure into all this? When does that happen?
Okay, I'll tell you exactly what happened.
Just curious.
Care to hear it? Are we good with time here a little bit?
Yeah. We're about halfway through.
Okay. Thing at the time, I had a band going with two people, Greg and Dennis, and Greg lived close by to Ed Misenti up that area.
Okay.
And me and Dennis used to rehearse at Greg's house.
Okay.
And out his back door and lawn, adjacent to his lawn, was Ed Misenti
Oh, okay.
and his family and their lawn.
Yeah.
And a couple times when the weather was nice, we'd go out and set up our equipment and rehearse outside, the three of us.
Right.
And then Eddie would be out there.
Yeah, here he
And
comes.
it was like, we got a little competition here?
Yeah, what's going on?
Eddie and
over
his brother Billy, who's the drummer.
there? Oh, okay.
And so then eventually, after a lot of that, we'd wave to each other. We got friendly, and then I'd zip over there, and then I'd sit in with them, and, because I was singing back then. They didn't have a singer,
Oh, right.
And so then we started a little band. Me, Eddie, his brother Billy on drums. This is when we were like 12 or 13.
Wow.
Played Memorial School, auditorium, on stage. We did it. The first time we did an Alice Cooper tribute. I painted up, brought a doll, ripped the head of the doll off.
Yeah, they must have loved
Threw it
that.
out into the crowd, and little did I know I banged his mother off the head.
Oh,
Ed's mother. So she didn't like me that much.
Can't blame her.
No, of course I did hit my mother, who was with her.
Right.
Sorry, Mrs. Misenti. Boop.
Yep.
And we would,
That's funny.
and it just started. It just started with bands.
Did you guys have a Cyclops? What's up with that? You see Alice Cooper sometime. I don't know.
The Cyclops.
Yeah, there's like a big
Yeah, he's always got
like
something.
puffin stuff or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you ever see with the dancing booze bottles?
No.
Oh boy, that was.
I've been looking for the vintage. I've been cruising YouTube. I want to see like the show. Like there's got to be a show back then filmed. Like I want to understand the whole thing, like the whole routine.
Then punch up, ladies and gentlemen, Alice Cooper,
Okay. All right.
and it's a movie.
Oh.
like a documentary
Okay.
movie, and that will
That'll straighten it out.
whet your appetite.
Yeah, I'll know who the Cyclops is, what the
You will.
all that stuff.
You'll know why he had a bifocal, because he couldn't see that well.
Oh boy.
Yeah, one bifocal.
Yeah.
Okay.
I used to be terrified. I probably already told all these stories, but
Not to me.
yeah. Well, my older sister, she used to listen to Alice Cooper, and I used to. It just scared me to death. I mean, dead babies, and it was a nightmare.
Welcome to it.
Oh, and so, she would. My parents would leave us alone. She would babysit, and the car wasn't even out of the driveway, and she would just go, "It's torture time," and put on. No, don't put it on. Oh. And she'd put Alice Cooper on. One time, she put it on, and shut the lights off in her room, and pushed me in the room, and I was in the room with the Alice Cooper playing, and.
I can relate to
Oh
that.
God! It
Shutting
used
the
to
lights off and listening to the
it used to
Killer
just
album
terrify
and stuff.
me.
Yeah,
Terrify me.
man.
And then the first gig I must have told this story before. The first gig when I thought I was a big shot, like in the 80s, I was in an original band and we played at the China Club in New York City. We're going to New York City. This is it. We're going to make it tonight. We're not going to leave until, and it was just whatever, a gig, a schmoozy gig. And we played the gig. Everything was fine. I didn't become a rock star, but we played the gig.
Yeah, you did.
Well, sure. And then there I was loading my gear out through the China Club, through the crowd. And one of my loads, I turn around and I almost knock over Paul Stanley and Alice Cooper are both there together talking. And I'm like, oh boy. So I just kind of said, I can't not say hi. I'm not going to bother you. I just want to say hi. And they were very nice. Oh, hi, how you doing? You know, whatever. And I told Alice Cooper that story. I said, my sister used to, and he goes, oh, yeah, good. That's good. Nice to meet you. And that was it. But it was cathartic for me.
I'm sure.
Yeah, you know, it was like, he's just a person. He's like, oh, yeah, cool. Yeah, well, it worked. Or he's something like that. And
well, don't forget, he's Vince, you know.
Right.
Hey, Vinny, what's
Wow.
going on, Vinny?
I didn't know that when I was 6 years old or whatever.
Right.
I thought.
I don't think he did either.
No, right. Yeah. But that, yeah, when I met Alice Cooper and spoke to him as a person, it all pretty much left me, I think, that fear for the most part.
Yeah. He's something else.
Sure, yeah.
He's something else. He's a survivor.
Yeah, right.
And he's still, you've seen the Hollywood Vampires.
Imagine
what do you
that.
think of them?
Oh, it's fine. It's fine.
They do a great version of, what is that? We Can Be Heroes.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Johnny Depp's a good singer, which I'm not that surprised, I guess. But I'm like, yeah, sure.
Yeah,
This works.
no. Good stuff.
It works, yeah. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Yeah. So there you are. Now you're hooked up with Eddie. Now you're going to make it. Now.
Oh, yeah. Now we added some more people to the mix.
Sure.
As time went on, we had a good friend of ours called Rick Oresco.
Okay.
A hilarious, beautiful guy who ended up being our keyboard player.
Okay.
They were really into, at this time now, once they got the keyboard player, and Dougie Mentlick, who Eddie still plays with to this day on bass.
Okay.
And Gordy was drumming, and we were called Alexis. And it was our first big band that played a lot, and that's just where everybody knew us.
Yeah, yeah.
Everybody in school, all of a sudden, we were the musicians.
Hey.
And, you know, the girls bump into you in the hallway that used to flip you off last week, all of a sudden. That just ain't bad.
Yep. Yeah. Sure.
And anyway, so that's what we did, and they used to do a lot of Deep Purple.
Mm-hmm.
I remember doing a version of Child in Time. I couldn't sing it. You know, Ian Gillan on that song, and Gordy sang it, and he would do that. I can't even do it.
Yeah.
It was really good.
Yeah,
and then went on, and then, of course, you leave, and you go to try other bands, and then you come back, and then you leave, and you come on the Boomerang Man.
Yeah.
And I just love to play with just different people. But we had that group of people I just mentioned. We played on and off for, years.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
So there was a scene. There was a scene around here you could play.
Yeah. And Gordy, eventually ended up getting into Fountainhead.
Right. That's where I know.
Yep. So he, that was like,
oh, really?
Well, I mean, okay, have fun in Fountainhead. He's playing New Haven Coliseum next week.
Yeah, right.
Where we're at Rovers
Right.
on Saturday.
Yeah.
$20 a piece, It's
Yeah.
not about money.
No.
Believe me.
No. I guess not.
It's about entertaining and just getting the people off.
I hope so.
And you get that ring going.
Yep.
They love it.
Yeah, you
They
throw
love
a
you
baby's head at them, and they throw it back. And Yep.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Very cool.
When did you branch out from guitar to other instruments?
I can remember after the drums. I just used to always sit behind people's kits.
Yeah.
After rehearsal, or I get there early.
Sure.
Or I'd ask, "Can I just play one song on the drums
Oh, I see.
with you guys?"
Yeah.
Because I was self-taught and stuff. And then my buddy Slim, the bass player from Spread Eagle and stuff, he says, "You're pretty good." And I'm gonna get you.
I just got it. Wait a minute. What was the name of your band?
Spread Eagle.
Spread Eagle. I just got it. I just understand it now.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
It's
I'm
another,
not that.
It's
I'm not
another
that quick.
double on time.
Yeah. I'm not that quick.
That's
I'm very
okay.
literal. It takes me a minute to get to the next level.
Yeah, but as long as you get there,
Yeah, I got there.
enjoy the ride.
Yeah.
There's no rush here.
Wow.
I kind of lost my train of thought, but
So drumming.
yeah. So then, I would just start to
Yeah.
drum with Adam and stuff when we start making recordings.
Mm-hmm.
And then I says, all right, I got to conquer the bass now. And I can remember at first starting, and I just couldn't. Like, how do you make this thing move? It just sounds like it's doop, doop,
Yeah.
doop, doop. And I don't like that doop, doop.
And you realized that
gotta
your arm was hanging over the string. You were muting. You're like, oh, I just.
It was. It's what's happening when you play with a robe on, you idiot.
Yeah. These are the robe years. Yeah. We're getting into prog rock. We're playing with a robe.
Robe over Beethoven, or whatever. But and so I finally did get the bass, and then I got really. Once you get it, you really get into it.
Okay.
And it's just fun.
Yeah.
Plus it's only 4 strings.
Sure.
They're all low, and that's basically what it was.
Yeah.
My dad had bought a keyboard he had at the house, so I used to sit down all the time and work stuff out.
Get into it one thing at a time.
And it all ended up, it's a gift.
Yeah.
I'm very happy, but sometimes it's frustrating.
In what way?
Well, because you record a song and you really like how you did it, and you want the people, if they're going to cover it, to play it kind of like you did, but everybody's like, well, who are you? I'd rather do this and I'd rather do that. And it's like, well,
right.
It's not like, well, I wrote it, so I'm telling you right now, you're going to play it like this. I really can't do that. But if it ain't working.
But you want to.
Yeah. I would love everybody to say, just learn it like this, man. This is the deal.
Yeah.
Just, timing.
Yeah.
I'm one of the guys that's always the last to come around. So I'm hoping that probably by the time I'm 75, I'll have the perfect band.
Oh, I see.
And then after our 3rd gig, I'll probably drop dead. But at least I'll have done it.
Yeah. Well, that's all right.
On a positive note.
Yeah. Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Boy. I can't picture Ed Misenti being told what to play. I just can't picture that going down too well. Which is fine.
Being told, well, he'll listen, but he has his own style, and he's a very stubborn Italian boy, right. And his stuff is great,
Did you guys get into like lawn wars, like the abutting lawn? Did you get
of course.
Any feud? Like, I'm not going to mow that one piece or whatever.
Well, not so much that. I used to our relationship was tough for me. Sometimes I'd have to back away and take time off and then come back and give it another shot.
Yeah.
But we wrote
How do you know it wasn't you? Maybe it was you.
It was me, of course.
Okay, right.
It was both of us.
Right.
And no question,
Well, that's what it's all about. That's the way it goes.
So thanks for putting the blame on me.
I don't
appreciate
know.
that.
He's not here. If he were here, I would.
He's here. He's watching. Hi, Ed. Love you, bro.
Yeah, what's up? Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah, cool. Then the recording thing kind of happened along the way. You just decided, like you said, you got hold of some kind of rig and you were like, oh, hey, we can do this. We can write songs. So when writing songs, when did that become a thing? Because not everybody does that.
Right. To be honest with you, I used to write just chord progressions and stuff like this that I would make up even when I was like 13.
Yeah.
And one of the first songs that I ever wrote.
Eddie's here. No, he's not.
Eddie, you've changed.
Yeah. We were just talking about Ed Misenti. I'm like, somewhere his ears are.
Oh, his ears are ringing.
Yeah.
Like AT&T over here.
Mm-hmm.
What did you ask me?
Songwriting. Like.
Right. So.
It's a thing. Not everybody does it.
No. Again, it's a gift, I could sit down. It just seems to this day, like if I sit down, and first thing I do, I pick up the guitar and I put it down and grab the pick and I'll do something. Usually the first thing that I do, whatever it is, is ready to go to something.
Hey.
Immediately.
That's pretty cool.
It is, but it's like, I got so many songs that I haven't even finished.
Oh, really?
And that's a bummer. all these unfinished children hiding in the closet.
I guess. Dead babies.
Oh.
Hiding in the closet.
What was that?
We're talking about Alice Cooper.
Alice Cooper, yeah. A pound of aspirin.
Oh.
She ate.
Terrible.
A pound, though.
Yeah. Did it even come in a pound?
I don't know. I just found that kind of like, is that a whole bottle? A pound of aspirin? Okay. Poor kid.
Yeah.
Mommy didn't love you anyway, though. That's why they didn't hide the medication.
Is that how? I never looked up the word.
That's basically what he's doing.
It's a song of neglect.
Yeah. He's telling the people, see what happens? You're not hiding your stuff, and they get a hold of it, and look what happens.
Oh, boy.
Dead babies can't take care of themselves.
Gotcha. Wow. I didn't realize that Alice Cooper was a moralist. I would have thought he would be.
Well, his dad was a preacher, right?
No.
A minister.
See? Oh, okay. See, it's all making sense now.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
Yep.
Wow. Far out.
It's a small world.
Yeah. Getting smaller.
But a big universe.
Right. Right.
Getting bigger.
Yeah. Yeah. Imagine that. See? Paradoxes. Always, everywhere.
Yep.
Well, we're getting close-ish.
Okay.
Anything that you want to talk about that we did not expand upon your path as far as, point A to point B? Or do you feel like, whatever?
Well, if you'd like, at some point down the line, I'd love to come back if you're interested in having me.
Sure.
And because really there's just so much and some great stories I can relate that musicians will get into. I would love to throw a few more at you and stuff
Go
like
ahead.
that.
I mean, we have, 15 minutes at least. Go ahead. Give us your best one.
Okay.
I don't know what you would think would be interesting. How about your you know what? Because he's not here. Your craziest Ed Misenti gig story. There's got to be something.
All right. Well, there's
the time where Ed.
Okay. Well. We were in a band called Those Guys.
Okay.
And we played for quite a while.
Okay.
But then during the course of Those Guys, Eddie and a good friend of his, Val Piera, rest in peace, decided they wanted to go to California. They're going to move to California and try and get into the scene.
Everybody was doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure.
And
I remember that.
Eddie, we replaced Eddie with another guitar player in Those Guys, but towards the end of those, we knew Eddie was going to be leaving, in months. So what we used to do was we just decided at the end of our gigs, the last set that we played, we were going to dress up however you want to dress up, the most ridiculous, outrageous things you could do.
Sure.
Just for a goof.
Yeah,
and let it rip.
Yeah,
yeah. And we used to do that, come up with different costumes. I remember, it's on video, but Eddie looking like a gypsy, like Izzy Stradlin, who was drowned in a deep well.
Wow.
And then wrapped up with headbands and stuff, and he was rolling all over the stage and stuff like that. I came on with scuba gear. I had a hat,
nice
goggles, and flippers. And I was trying to work my foot pedals with flippers. That didn't work.
That's funny.
And,
where was this gig?
Oh, God. Oh, I couldn't tell you right now.
Oh, boy.
It's on the tip of my head.
Yeah, I'm just curious.
But
where you could get away with such a thing.
Oh, yeah, a lot of places did.
Yeah.
Then we used to burn up. Me and the bass player, Remo Capello, I used to burn up these sausage links. Burn them so they looked like little dog turds.
Sure.
And I'd bring a saran wrap bag of about 8 of them to the gig. And then when everybody's really feeling real good and they're out there dancing up a storm, I'd start chucking them on the dance floor.
Nice.
And people are like, what? And they get a couple women with their heels, there'd be a sausage stuck to their heel or something. It was hilarious.
Yeah.
And we threw some other paraphernalia out. I won't get into some of the other ones we threw out, but it was you had to be there.
Yeah. I'm glad I wasn't.
So it was we would always say, don't forget to bring the sausage links.
Oh, to the gig.
Yeah.
Far out.
Okay.
Yeah.
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 Didn't that make you hungry?
Not particularly.
Okay, me neither.
I've had gigs like that.
Yeah. Oh, you have?
Somewhat. Well, not that particular, but yeah.
What'd you throw
out? There was a gig that we used to do where we had, theatrics type things like that. And we had kind of a sidekick in the band. He would show up and do various things. It was Junior, John Best Jr. And we disemboweled him. We had meat hidden. We ripped him apart and threw the parts into the audience.
That makes the sausage links pale in comparison, dude.
Yeah.
Raw meat you're throwing out.
Yeah, I think it was raw.
Does anybody have a hibachi out there?
Yeah, right. I don't know. Probably. I wouldn't be surprised. But when you say like a food throwing gig, that comes to mind.
Okay. Food fight.
Yeah, done the food fight gig. Yeah. Yep.
Gotta love it.
Yeah. No, it happens.
You know, we're all kindred spirits musicians.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, because we never. You know why?
Why?
Because we never buckled down. You know what I'm saying? None of this would have happened if we listened to our parents.
Buckled
down.
Buckled down.
And just buckled down. Look at you now, throwing sausage links out.
See? This is what I gave birth to. This is what my son dressing up like an idiot throwing sausage links on a dance floor. This is what I...
Oh, well.
Yeah, you're bigger than the Beatles. No question about it, Glenn.
Right. Yeah. Well, it would be like we're the Beatles that never got out of Hamburg. Like, you hear about their exploits.
Yeah, we're the Beatles that never got out of hot dog.
Yeah. Hey, I got the boom in full.
Yeah, that was
effect.
that was probably one of the better ones.
I figured out right away that this is going to be this kind of gig.
It's all timing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Woo. So how do you know Dave? Tell me the story.
Dave and I go back a long way.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, what was it? Coming here to the store.
Yeah. Oh really?
Just coming and he'd be in the store and you talk, and then the next thing you know Ed Misenti, yeah. And then Eddie started working here. What is this? The Ed Misenti podcast?
Yeah, I guess. Well, that's the one link.
The one sausage link.
That's a summit.
Yeah.
Ouch!
Exactly. Oh. Yeah.
Oh God, you gotta love this. I tell you, this is a gas, man.
Hey, I told you.
It really is.
Stick with me. You may make it. Yeah, this might be it.
This is what I'm saying. I'm the late bloomer, dude.
I can guarantee you at least 100 viewers.
Really?
Kiddo, you stick with me. You'll see.
No kidding.
You'll be farting through silk. You stick with me, kiddo. Exactly.
Oh, boy.
All right. Wrap-up-ish questions.
Okay, here we go.
Desert Island albums. A handful of albums. Are you familiar with the term?
Of course.
Some people don't. They don't. I've had some people go, "What do you mean desert?" But you know what I mean. It's just a term. Like,
right. If you were stranded on a desert island and you could only bring 5 albums to listen to, what would they be?
That's right. That's what I'm asking you.
Right. Well, you are?
Yeah.
Deja Vu.
By Crosby, Stills, and Nash.
That's absolutely
really?
one of them.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Fine.
Okay.
Wow.
Yep. Deja Vu. All right, hold on. It would definitely be Zakk Wylde, Book of Dreams.
Oh.
No, Book of Shadows.
Okay. I don't know that one.
Oh.
Really?
Oh.
Okay. I just read Geezer Butler's autobiography. It's brand new. I got it from the library.
Good.
It was really interesting. The thing I can't repeat the things he said about Zakk Wylde.
Okay. Whatever.
Yeah. I can't say it.
Well,
it rhymes with he drinks his own urine. Let's just put it that way. It rhymes with that.
Really?
I can say that. Can I say that?
You just did.
I just said it. Yeah.
He drinks his own urine?
According to Geezer.
Well, it's not mine. It's urine. According to Geezer. Well, okay. So
it was good. It was good. It was a good book.
But it's okay for Ozzy to snort ants, though.
Right.
And who knows what Geezer Butler did?
Snorting ants.
We're not here snorting ants.
Yeah.
Probably uncles, too.
I'm not even good. Just imagine I just did that. All right.
So anyway, I got 3 more albums, though.
Okay.
Okay, so that was 2. This is difficult. This is difficult.
I don't know if they told you it wasn't going to be easy, right?
Yeah. I think another one I would bring is Doyle, Bramhall, and Smokestack.
Oh, hey now. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. Yes. I saw the arc. All right. You ready?
Oh. Archangels?
Saw the Archangels. You know, loved that record right away.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, okay. Saw them. It was amazing. So you get Charlie Sexton over here playing, you know, through some boutique amp and a giant pedal board and some tricky guitar. I don't know. And he's great. Over here is Doyle Bramhall Jr. playing a Strat upside down, strung wrong through a twin.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep.
Like maybe a reverb pedal. That's it. It was beautiful because it was like you got this and you got this. And they just, you know, this one sings this song, that one. It was that was a good band. That was a really good band.
Great. Who was it? Charlie Sexton was in that?
Charlie
too, right?
Sexton, Doyle, and Stevie Ray in Double Trouble.
Double Trouble.
Yep. Yeah. So I went to see, so I always liked Doyle, and then I went to see him in New York City. This is probably 98-ish or so, or something like that, maybe later. And I went to New York City to see Smokestack, and Dave Grohl was there. And I hung out with him, oddly, in some weird kind of way.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
And you didn't invite me.
Well, I didn't know who you were. I didn't know who you were a half an hour ago.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Anyway, I've told that story before.
That's cool.
But yeah, I love Doyle. So yes.
And I love his voice, too.
Yeah, yeah, he's great.
Just,
yeah.
Oof.
Yep, agreed.
Okay, that's 3. Pisces, Aquarius, Capricorn, and Jones Limited, the Monkees.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, that's 4.
I worked with Peter. I'm not making all these about me, but I worked with
That's
Peter Tork
fine.
for many years.
With Peter Tork?
I did, yeah.
Really?
I did.
Doing what?
Being in a band with him.
You were in a band with Peter Tork?
I was, yeah. Yeah. I used to play with this.
Listen, are you joshing me?
No, it was not that big a deal, actually.
Well.
I was in a band with, do you know Jeff Pitchell?
Yes.
So there was a time period, a year or two, Peter Tork was like in our band. Like we would do double bills. It was the Peter Tork, Jeff Pitchell show. And we would play for an hour and he would come out and we would do the rest of the night with him.
What kind of material did you play?
Well, he was trying to brand himself as a blues musician, which is why we hooked up with him. So he kind of did kind of like what we were doing, kind of rock and blues. And then, you know, for the encores or whatever, we did the handful of Monkees obligatory, you know, I'm a Believer. And
did you do
whatever.
Peter Percival Patterson's Pet Pig Porky?
No.
Did you do Auntie Griselda?
Once, I think.
Okay.
We might have. Somebody finally were like, okay.
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
You got it.
So, yeah. No, I did. I spent a lot of time with Peter Tork.
Very good.
Yeah.
So, Glenn, tell me some more about.
Yeah, right. I didn't mean
no,
to. I just, if you said monkey, I'm just saying.
Apologizing. It's all fabulous.
Yeah.
And I'm going to throw one more out there.
I'm ready.
And that would be my 5th. Oh, boy. Love, Forever Changes.
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah.
I'll go with those.
Why not?
Right now.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good.
And then eventually, though, I'm going to send SOS and say, okay, get rid of these 5. I need 5 new ones.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's the way it goes.
But now that would go.
Yeah, that would work. I don't know that one. Is that the Monkees? Is that like when they're doing their own thing?
No.
Or that's still?
It's still studio musicians, but they're also playing some instruments, not like Monkees Headquarters, which is a great album too, but that's them playing everything.
Okay. So it wasn't
but it's
quite
just
that.
It's just the songs and the production and the vibe of it's very 67-ish.
Mm-hmm.
And every track is killer.
I'll have to check it out. I don't.
Seriously.
I'm not into it.
Oh, you got to check it out.
I didn't. You know, it's funny. I will say one thing about Peter Tork, God rest his soul.
Yep.
And I don't mean any disrespect at all. I'm just going to say, he was, you know, playing guitar in the band. Not particularly gifted, I didn't think. But the thing that was so weird was we were somewhere in a dressing room and there was a piano, and he sat down and just played piano for, you know, a half an hour or something. And he was a great player. And I was like, oh, okay. I see it. And I just remember thinking, you know, why aren't you doing this?
Why aren't you on piano?
Kind of. It was odd. I'm not a monkey scholar, so I don't know what he was supposed to be doing. But I kind of thought, guy's not.
I know he played a pretty decent banjo.
Yeah, the banjo never came out. But I do remember, like, oh, wow. Okay, that's cool. So.
Well, that's good to know.
Yeah, hey, you heard it here first.
There you go. Exclusively on WDRC.
Desert Island food, real quick. Food.
Okay, how many?
I don't know. One.
One desert island food.
That's it. Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's got to be Jerry's Sicilian.
Okay.
Extra cheese and sausage.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go with that. That works.
Yep.
All right. Well, you know what? We can get out of here. Want to get out of here?
Well, we gotta get out of here right now. Who's that? Ian Hunter? Gotta get out.
I don't know.
of here.
I don't know that one.
Okay.
But yeah, we could do this again.
I would love to.
I appreciate you coming.
I appreciate you having me. I mean, you're a gas, and this ain't butt kissing. It's just the truth.
No, hey.
And
well, we have fun.
A lot of fun.
I like to have fun. I think it's cool.
And I urge everybody to check out John's podcast.
Hey.
Because there's a lot of good people.
Hey.
Who have a lot of cool things to say.
Well, I'm just trying to get all the stories down.
Yep.
Because the internet is forever.
That's a long time.
And it'll exist. So, all right, I'm going to press the goodbye button.
So right.
All right. Sorry. I almost panicked because I didn't change the thing.
Don't hit the panic
button.
button.
Like, boom, again.
Yeah.
All right.
Good thing you're not the president.
Yeah, exactly. Whoops.
Oh.
Glen Carta was here. John Peckman Podcast, Connecticut Valley School of Music and Dance, beautiful downtown Portland, Connecticut. Come over to the bridge, go on through satellites, have a thing. Hey, happy Thanksgiving. It's 2 days before Thanksgiving right now. Is it 2 days?
2 days.
Tuesday.
What's today's date?
It's Tuesday before Thanksgiving. Have a nice one, everybody.
Everybody, yes, you too.
Have a good time. And we'll see you next time. We'll see what happens.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. That is all.
Rock and roll.
Rock and roll.
If you'd like to start your own podcast, give us a call at Connecticut Valley School of Music and Dance. Our professionally designed podcast space is here for all your recording needs. Rent out our studio to do interviews with up to 4 people, to record audiobooks, social media content, and all other recorded material. Our rentals include a private studio along with our professional-grade podcasting equipment, and we can customize your output to whatever your needs are. We also have green screen capabilities, which will expand to video capability if you so wish. So check us out here at convalley.net/podcast.